All right, y'all. What's up? So this is just literally so that I will actually do the freaking work. Um, that's literally what this is for. So I will finally do the freaking work to move the fuck out this place because I know me and I'll wait another week. I'll wait another week. I know I'll wait another week because I'm comfortable here. I've gotten too comfortable here. My room is a mess because I've been sorting through clothes. So I've clothes thrown everywhere. But this is just literally, why do you need to find devices on a local network? Like, no, the fuck. Anyways, so this is literally to hold myself accountable to make sure that I will do what I'm supposed to be doing. Because for the past 2 days, I've been like hella lazy and not doing what I'm supposed to do. So let me see if I can find my mic. If I can find my mic, that would be great. So you guys can get better audio. I don't know if you guys can really hear me. Um, I know I've been having some issues with this mic that's on my actual laptop. For a $1,500 laptop, this laptop is hella crappy. I'm not gonna lie. But it just seems like everything is breaking or glitching like software wise. It's crazy. But I spent $1,500 on this laptop and it was like, what was the fucking point? Because shit wasn't gonna work. Anyways, this is what the room looks like now. To give you guys it looks crazy. But because we're moving. Um, and this has been a move that's kind of been in the works for the past week. I was supposed to move out last week, and my sister was like, "Oh no, you should wait." So to give y'all a little backstory, basically, my landlord is not going to let me continue staying here, of course, because I cannot pay per the usual as most landlords. Now, I thought he would at least float me a month, which is why I even mentioned to him anything that I did because I thought he would at least float me a month. And my dad gave me the idea of, oh, well, you're you don't know unless you talk to him. And that's exactly what I did. And it just led down this path of me possibly getting evicted now. So rather than dealing with a possible eviction on my record, I figured move before he can evict you. Which would be the wisest decision for me to do. I have all this week to pack and then try to move out by Saturday or Sunday. Um, so that is the goal for right now, is to have all this packed up. I already have downstairs packed up. I just have one closet I have to do and I'll be done. But getting all this packed up is basically the case. So to make a long story short, I got laid off October 9th from a job I was working. Was I wrongfully terminated? Yes. But I mean, North Carolina is an at will state, so there's that. And basically, what ended up happening was the supervisor's girlfriend was upset. She was upset. She was mad. She was angry. And her sister had passed apparently because she had been telling me that her sister had been sick. And all that week or the week prior, she had been saying, "Oh, my sister bad. My sister might be getting unplugged because her sister was on life support." So that was that. Now, I in no way, shape, or form thought that that would lead to her cussing me out or threatening me the day I came to work, but that's exactly what happened. Um, I was there probably 7 o'clock in the morning, like I was supposed to be. Went ahead and got a head start because there's always an employee who was always late. So I come in, I do what I got to do. And like I said, this dude is nowhere to be found because he was always late every freaking day. He was 30 minutes late. And then he'll come in like, "Oh, did you do such and such already? Well, I'll do it." Don't. It's like, well, you kind of don't have no choice because I've been working here by myself for the past 30 minutes, so you're going to do it. Like you don't have a choice. And so, yeah. So usually the manager ended up putting him on the rounds of cleaning the floors when he was there, and she would just have me do the laundry. And my thing was, why I got to be exposed to hepatitis? Because they didn't have no proper PPE. So why am I being exposed to freaking hepatitis? Because we ain't got proper PPE. I'm taking the nurses' PPE, mind y'all. I'm taking the nurses' PPE, and they getting attitudes with me, and I'm just like, well, take it up with management. Management don't have no PPE, and I'm handling shitty and pissy linen, and y'all already understand y'all not about to grab a bite with y'all bare hands. So I damn sure ain't grabbing it with my bare hands. So what are we talking about? So, anyways, um, all of that happens or whatever. It becomes a whole hoopla. I start getting agitated because I'm like, yo, like, I've been agitated at this point, but it's just like, this shouldn't be like this. Why are we having to go to the nurses station to take their stuff when we should have our own PPE? And like literally, I'm having people tell me, oh, you can't use those because those are for the nurses only. But they know that this is a low quality, low grade facility that, they in violation of just about everything anyway, including not having enough PPE and including not having enough linen for people. And they know what it was. They know what it was. So, anyways, so I like I said, I'm doing what I got to do, going from each floor, making sure I have everything pulled. By the time they came in, everything was pulled. The last little bit was sitting in the bin when they came in. So there was no reason for me to get yelled at or anything because everything was already done when they came in. Outside of sweeping the ducts or the sweeping the dryer ducts out, that was the only thing that needed to be done. And you can't do that, even though y'all 40 minutes late every single day. So a little backstory: the fiance and the fiance, which is the supervisor, and her fiance or whatever, were clearly they're engaged, which is a natural conflict of interest because you're working with your spouse, and there's always going to be some favoritism there and a bias that's there because she's your spouse and you got to go home with her and you're just trying to keep her happy so she's not doing all this rah shit. But my thing is, if your fiance don't have self control, why is she working there? I just was wondering, like, if she doesn't have self control, why is she there? If she's angry all the time about working there, ma'am, why are you working here? When your girlfriend is literally the supervisor and she can pay for everything. Now y'all got 5 kids. Granted, y'all both need the income or whatever. But if you don't want to be here, and she had just did like an interview the week before, I'm like, girl, you ain't got to stay here. And so, but she would always constantly complain. She had been complaining since my very first day there. So I had watched her within the first week cuss an employee out, another employee out, call him a crackhead, call him a dope fiend, and all this extra crap because she couldn't stand him. And it's just like, what does that have to do with what? Like all that was unnecessary. You doing the most, acting like you gonna fight this grown ass man, who we know you're not gonna fight, by the way. But you doing all this like you about to fight that man, and that man is literally 2 to 3 times your size. Girl, sit down. But she one of them ones. She's a hothead. She's a hothead, so it's like whatever. She don't care what nobody got to say. She want to do shit how she want to do it, and it's just like, but you're not the manager, like you told me. Other people was my manager. Your girlfriend is. So why do you always go over her authority doing all this rah stuff? And so I was like, okay, it is what it is. I had already seen there was a bias my first day there. And she would be like, I'm not about to be doing all this by myself. Da, da, da. But you come in here every day and you do what? You do all this by yourself. I mean, outside of my help, of course. We are here to do this by ourselves. Especially if he's just lollygagging on his phone. The guy who would come in late or whatever, he just lollygagging on his phone, says, what do you expect? And your girlfriend ain't doing nothing about it. She ain't terminating him. When she did try to terminate him, they don't have enough employees, so she brought him back. So what are we talking about? So my last week, she claimed he was gone, but then literally, once I got laid off, she told him to come back. She needed him to come back. And he needed the extra money, so of course he came back like a dummy. But I wouldn't have came back without no pay raise because you don't terminated me. And it's not like he didn't do anything, like absolutely nothing. But for the most part, he would be walking around his phone acting like he cleaning. It wasn't cleaning shit. And like the guy who actually does clean told me, he was like, yo, we're the first arm or ground of defense, like for an infection breaking out or an outbreak. He said, people who clean, he said, we're the first line of defense. He said, so if we don't clean properly, these people are going to be getting all types of infections and dying. I mean, they was already doing that anyway. But, because the week that I left, 2 people had died. And so, and that wasn't just from old age either. They was claiming that one of the folks allegedly had overdose. Like a nurse came from the 3rd floor, went to the 2nd floor, and didn't know what they was doing, and gave that person the wrong dosage, and that person ended up dying. That's what I was told. Okay, that's the me. That's what I was told. And I mean, ain't nobody got no reason to lie because Like we didn't really care about the nurses like that. The nurses, could be sometimes the nurses could sometimes have attitudes, but I personally didn't care about them like that. There was only really one nurse or probably two or three that I was really fond of anyway. But yeah, they can even tell you I came in, I was the first one there trying to do my job, or at least trying to get us somewhere, so we can have some progress, so we're not having all this dirty linen backed up that we got to do, and we having to stay overtime and all that, because my shift was from, I believe, 7:30 to 3:30. And so I wasn't about to be staying past 3:30 trying to do all this stuff. Once 3:30 come, baby, I'm out. Because when I was trying to do it, they was unappreciative. So I said, well, hell, what am I staying here for the extra money for when, I get paid daily? Because I was going through instant work. So I was getting paid daily. So it was like, why am I staying here for the extra money? When it's not gonna be that much money, and it's not gonna be worth the headache that I'm gonna have to get home, because I had to come all the way across town. And so I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And so the day of the incident or whatever, basically the girl, she came in, and I was like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah. She just shook her head and was huffing and puffing. But I didn't know why she was huffing and puffing. Apparently, like I said, her sister had passed that morning. How am I supposed to know that? I wouldn't have just said anything to you, but her aura, everything about her was off that morning. And I'm just like, are you okay? And she's like, so finally, because it was so much tension, because she went and told her girlfriend something, her girlfriend had yelled at me, the supervisor had yelled at me. And I'm like, well, what the fuck am I getting yelled at for? Just because y'all having a bad day ain't got shit to do with me. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I would have been more empathetic had I known what was going on, but that was none of my business to know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find out until, and I figured that was what it was, but I didn't really truly find out until I was leaving. And she didn't terminate me on the spot. But how could you terminate me on the spot when your girlfriend was the one who cussed me out? Literally, I came in and said, what's the problem? And she was like, the problem is, da, da, da. And she just started going off. And I'm just like, okay, all right. And she was like, da, 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 da. She just kept going and basically riling herself up like she normally do. And working herself up. And she just kind of exploded because she had been holding all that inside, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. And so I packed my stuff and left. Whenever any black person starts slamming their hands on the table, they want to fight. That is fighting movements. Down south, when anybody started doing this on the table, why they screaming and yelling at you at they full top of their lungs, they want to fight you. So I said, nah, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. So I left. I called the supervisor. I said, hey, don't know what's going on with your girlfriend. Don't really care. I'm about to leave. And she was like, no. What happened? What happened? I said, nah. I said, she tripping. So I'm about to go. Like, anybody got time for this? I do not get paid enough money. First of all, I'm doing most of the work anyway. I'm the only person handling all the shitty and pissy linen. She just going around folding clothes and shit. Like, everything is cool. And for it to be fair, I should not be the only person getting exposed to fucking hepatitis C. So with that being said, like, nah, I'm good. She rarely, y'all, from the time I had started working there, for the 3 months I was working there, she rarely touched any stained linen. That means shitty and pissy. She rarely touched any of that. It was always me. So I was like, when it comes down to it, hell, I'm the one doing all the damn work. And y'all want me to be Molly the maid, and y'all want me to go in rooms. Y'all done had bed bug infestations. Y'all done had active bed bug outbreaks while I was there. Like, fuck out of here. I'm not going into them rooms. But they wanted me to be the sacrificial lamb or go in the rooms clean. She ain't never had her girlfriend go in not one room and clean up shit. But you want me to do it, bitch? Fuck, I look like. I did it. But I did it with a whole fucking hazmat suit on, because the fuck, I wasn't bringing no damn bed bugs home. Been there, done that. Fuck out of here. I used to travel a lot. So when I was in high school, I ended up bringing something back from like a cruise or whatever. And I'm just like, nah. Baby, been there, done that. Them shits is hard to get rid of. Fuck out of here. So if you don't want to bring them home, I damn sure don't want to bring them home. And I done got ate up by them before. I'm good. And so I was very paranoid and really didn't want to bring that shit home. And so, but I did my job, because my job includes my job said general labor. So you can't really choose. And they did that so they could basically have you doing everything they don't want to do, basically. That was the whole reason why they put general labor. But anyways, it's like, it's unfair to us if we got to come in. Y'all not doing no work. The head supervisor walking around in circles, making sure everything is okay. And we the ones basically slaving. Like, get the fuck out of here. So there was all that jazz or whatever. I ended up getting to a point. I was like, yo, I don't even want to be here no more. Like, fuck it, I'll find something else. And I was waiting or trying to wait until um trying to wait until I found something else before I just made that final decision of just leaving, because I had already been there, done that with the situation of you leaving. So when let's just go back. So when I went and I called the supervisor, she was like, no, 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 meet me upstairs, meet me upstairs. So I meet her upstairs or whatever. And when I meet her upstairs, she's like, you know, what happened? What's going on? What's going on? I said, well, she just started snapping and cussed me out for absolutely no reason. I just asked her what was wrong, and she just started spazzing. What's wrong? These motherfuckers out there. I know I do their motherfucking job. Like, we do this shit every day. We go through this shit every fucking day. Every fucking day it's the same bullshit. And motherfuckers and I was trying to figure out who she was talking to, because she damn sure wasn't talking to me, or the anger wasn't being taken out on me, because I didn't do nothing. And I've been doing my job. So I was like, okay, well, if you feel that way, I need you to talk to the person who you got an issue with in a calm manner and a calm tone. But you talking at me like that, that's not gonna work. It triggers the fuck out of me. Like, I'm not a crash out, but right. Don't do that. I don't want to become one. So and that's something that would definitely push me in that category. And so I told her, I said, well, I need you to calm down. And she was like, don't tell me to fucking calm down, bitch. Da 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 da. Like, she was under a lot of stress. And my thing is, if you feel that way, why even come into work? Why not stay home? Both of y'all got 2 cars. You could have taken your ass back home. They drive into work together, but you could have went home. You could have got an Uber home, something. So it's just like, but this whole, I got to be the sacrificial lamb and all this, it was getting old. And so it was like, yo, like, if y'all not going to actually make a conscious effort to actually, like, if we're not going to handle ourselves as adults, and you lack self-control, why are you here? I'm just saying, because we around too many old people. She always had an attitude from the first day I walked up in there. She just really didn't want to be there. And I'm like, well, that ain't got shit to do with me. I'm just here to do my job. And I'm one of them people, I literally am there to do my job, and I will come in and do my job and keep it moving. I'm literally one of them people, y'all. So anyways, so she goes on or whatever, and I just packed my bag. Like, as soon as she started doing that rah-rah shit, I just packed my bag. Because I already knew I was about to leave. I said, because I'm not about to lose my job or put my hands on this girl, and we end up fighting. And so, what she was doing was really grounds for me to boss up, and she was waiting for me to do something because she wanted to fight somebody. But if I see you that angry, I'll just walk away. I'm one of the people, I choose my freedom over me and you duking it out. Because if I duke it out, you about to get my life's anger. Okay, you about to get all the anger that I've ever felt in my life. If me and you duke it out, sis, you about to feel the wrath. Okay, of every ounce of anger I got in me. And I don't think you think you big and bad, but you don't want the type of anger I got. I am very good at letting shit roll off and letting shit, but I can only do that for so long. And then yes, it becomes an exploding thing. But I've learned now to just de-escalate and walk away, because it's not worth my time or energy for that matter. So anyways, basically that's what happened. The supervisor was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to her. So of course I take the bus to work. I don't drive because I'm not elected. So I take the bus to work or whatever. And when I'm on my way home, I'm trying to drop the shifts, but Instawork is telling me I can't drop the shifts. And I'm like, well, why the fuck can't I drop the shifts? So I was like, okay, well, let me take a leave of absence. So this is like on a Thursday, y'all. So that Friday, or before Friday even came, that same day, that Thursday, which is when this happened, I went ahead and took a leave of absence for the next day so that I could just go home for the weekend, take a breather, come back in Monday, we could do this all over again. But I knew I had to work in close quarters with her, but I didn't mind at that point going and cleaning the halls and stuff so that I don't have to be in close proximity with her, which is what I was going to suggest. But before I could suggest that, she DNR'd me. The lady DNR'd me from all shifts. I lost $2,600 behind that, and that was money that I needed to pay my rent. And so I ended up having to scrape by. Mind y'all, I wasn't getting no unemployment, clearly, because I was a full-time employee there. But my unemployment was being held by the state of North Carolina. So I was unable to get any. And so I'm like, damn, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? Y'all done basically took my income from me and I didn't even do shit. And so, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like the fuck? And so they didn't care. So later on I speak to an old employee and she tells me that basically some lady named Nikki told her to DNR me or whatever, and that she was explaining to Nikki that because Nikki heard me on the phone when they were coming up, I was already on the first floor. So when she was getting off the elevator or whatever, she was talking to me on the phone, and Nikki thought I was talking to somebody else. It's like, but even if I'm talking to somebody else, girl, my people's work for the state. If I really want somebody up and through this bitch, I can have somebody up and through this bitch. Right? Ain't nobody worried about y'all. And so it's like I could have been had somebody up and through this bitch the first week I was there because I seen so many health code violations. I was like, hell, y'all letting these people sit in their shit and they piss for 30 or 40 minutes at a time. You got one person who just started screaming and yelling who was on the second floor, and the second floor is the competent floor. So I'm like, there's no reason for this man to be screaming and yelling unless he used the bathroom on himself. And y'all hear his beat going on, and the nurses would just sit up at the top of the floor, just having a whole conversation like they don't hear that alarm going off. Somebody's clearly saying they used the bathroom on themselves. Who wants to sit in a piece of shit? That shit burn. And so it was just a big mess. The whole hospital, I feel like that whole nursing home needs to be shut down, in my opinion. And they've had plenty of when I was looking it up, apparently they did have lawsuits and stuff for wrongful deaths and stuff like that already. Hence them changing their name to what they changed it to. And so yeah, shit was a hellhole. So anybody who I'd be like, if I was you, I wouldn't. Like, know. And I knew something was wrong because when that shift first became available, like if anybody's familiar with InstaWork, when you're working for InstaWork, first of all, they barely have no support. Let's just be for real. They don't really have any support. This is not alleged. This is the truth. And this is from personal experience. They don't have any support. When it comes to you getting in contact, you have to go through a chat or email. You cannot just call a number and actually speak to somebody in customer service and speak to somebody in HR. You have to send an email or a chat. And usually it takes them 7 to 8 business days to get back to you. By that time, the shit is over and done with. So I did send them a letter letting them know what happened and letting them know what was going on. And that didn't get me nowhere. They was like, well, the supervisor has the ability to relieve anyone from the shift. And I'm just like, but how is that so? And how is that even allowed if her girlfriend was the one who was in the wrong and I didn't do anything? So in my eyes, that's wrongful termination, especially when I didn't do nothing. And so, yeah, it was just a big mess. And ultimately led to like me just saying, F it. I couldn't say F the platform because I need the money that the platform offers. So I was still continuing to work at the stadium or whatever. But it was like, this has inconvenienced me. I lost a lot of money behind this shit. And there's nothing that can be done about it, basically. People was like, oh, you can speak to a lawyer or you can go to legal aid. I might go to legal aid and see, but my time to submit a report, I ended up submitting a report to the Department of Health because that was the most important thing to me, was making sure that them people ain't going to continue to live like that. I mean, their people will be submitting reports, and I'm pretty sure some previous staff who would get terminated would be submitting reports because why wouldn't you? We're in such a day and age where people really need whatever job they have, and they can't afford to just be, hence this whole situation that I'm having now, which I do want to sue the company, but I don't know if there's like a statute of limitations or whatever, but I do want to sue the fuck out of that company for wrongful termination. And it lead into all of this because now I'm getting, or I may potentially be getting evicted due to that money that I was supposed to have, like the extra $2,600, plus the money that I was making, like working at the stadiums and stuff. I was bringing in $200 a month after that, y'all. $200. So, this whole live is just a transparency live, just the kind of event, and it is kind of therapeutic to me. But also, I must have passed this. I already know. I always do. I've overcame so much stuff in life, y'all. It's not even funny. So it's just like I'm not really worried about the instances of whatever's going to come after this because I'm gonna be all right. Thank God I got a good loving family that would be willing to take me in, because if I didn't, I probably would be out on the street. But after living on my own for 3 years or whatever, I had lost my job, my real job, like my job that got me in here. I had lost that back in 2021. So I was blessed enough to stay here for 3 years. That's good enough for me. We can keep it moving and move on to something better. Because my next move is gonna be me by myself. I've had this whole situation with my roommate. We are not fond of each other because it's a cultural difference or whatever. She's African, clearly I'm not. So it's just like you know, I usually get along with Africans, but she's an older lady. And I think it would be way different if she was younger. Because if she was younger, I think we would get along more. But she's like 50 something, and I'm clearly like 29. So it's just like this ain't working. That's another reason why I'm moving out early because 2 days ago I had to cuss her out because she be thinking she could talk to people any type of way. And baby, being from North Carolina, that's not happening. I'm sorry, that ain't how this about to go down. Um, that is not how this about to go down. And so I had to do what I had to do, and you have to stand your ground because they will really be pushy. Um, really be pushy, and it's just like, yo, I'm sorry, my own grandma, my own family don't talk to me like this, ma'am. You're not about to talk to me like you stupid. That's what we're not about to do. That's what we're not about to do. Let's keep it cute. We're gonna be respectful. Let's use a respectful tone. But you yelling and screaming, I'm not receptive to that because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get yelled back at, and that's just how I am. So it's just that's why, unless it's like in a professional setting, if you yell and scream at me, you're going to get yelled back. I'm just saying, like, and especially if I'm telling you to watch your tone and you can't seem to comprehend what I'm saying, you hear me, but you ain't hearing me. So it's just like, let's up the ante. Like, don't do that. People are like, oh, you need to respect your elders. I'm sorry, you got to give respect to get respect, baby. I'm about to be 30. Ain't nobody got time for this. And so, but I'm still surprised. Like I said, like I told her, I said, why didn't you just get a house? You work for Wells Fargo. You're paying $1,300 a month in North Carolina for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. That is a freaking mortgage. Why didn't you just purchase a home? I was just wondering why she never purchased the house. I don't know. She was like, everybody tells me, my family and everybody tells me that because everybody ain't telling you wrong. Everybody ain't telling you wrong. We were telling you this for a reason. And so she just stuck in her ways, and I ain't got time. And it ain't even the really more so the her being stuck in her ways. It's more so the fact of the matter is I personally don't want a roommate anymore, unless it's family. And I don't really consider family a roommate if I grew up with you. Like I'm moving back in with my grandma and my sister. And so yeah. That'll be that. I'm not going through this. I was like, especially when it's unnecessary. I was hoping that my landlord would have some type of grace because I haven't had heat in my room. Like for the past 3 years, y'all. I have not had no heat. Like this is how it works. Our AC unit is on and off, on and off, on and off. It doesn't. It used to be an idle where it come on for a little bit, then it go off, and it come on for a little. And it seems like right around wintertime, it just stops. So all the heat will stop coming to my room and go to my roommate's room, and her room can go up to 80, 90 degrees, and my room is sitting at 40 something. It makes zero sense. And so my room is sitting at 40, 50 degrees. And so I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna work. I'm not about to catch pneumonia because I ain't got proper heat, which he's known about this, y'all, for years. And initially, when his daughter was here 2 years ago, he tried to do something about it. He called in people, and I'm like, hey, I'm still having issues. I'm like, hey, I'm still having issues. After the fourth time of saying, hey, I'm still having issues, and you can't find the right person, I need you to stop being cheap and find somebody who actually know what they're doing. So he ended up ultimately having the city come in. The city did a whole bunch of damage to the walls downstairs in the living room looking for a freon leak. And apparently they had already went up in the attic just to come back down and cut holes into the wall, which he never repaired. These are some big ass holes. One of them holes is like this. The other hole is probably about that big. So like a mini 5x5 canvas. And so it was just a mess. And so it's been that way. He told me he got the money to fix it, but he had to fight with the city to get the money to fix it. And he was like, instead of me just fixing that, I'm just gonna put it into the new property. Nigga, what? We got a company who coming over asking why are there holes in the ceiling? Why is there a piece of drywall hanging from the ceiling? That's embarrassing to have to keep asking that, especially when I'm spending $1,000 a month. Like, I don't even really want no company over because they don't see drywall hanging from the ceiling. And so it's just been a big mess living here, and something is always breaking. Something is always needing to be replaced, and it just seems like he's taking his slow and sweet time to get it fixed. And oh, I'm gonna have somebody come over, da 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 da. And if you be having these people who are not really knowing what they're doing, these people be incompetent, and they don't know how to do their job, so they acting like they don't know how to do their job. Or they come in and put a band-aid on something and be like, oh, okay, it should be good now. He has this handyman who don't do y'all. We're not gonna go there about the handyman situation because it's this one handyman who he be going to who don't be fixing shit. He don't at all. He literally takes it apart, puts it back together, and says, well, should be working now. Baby, you ain't even tested nothing. Or he'd be like, oh, test it out. And if I test it out, it's like, yes, sir, I'm not getting shocked now, but I've been having these electrical charges that's been happening, like where I'm getting shocked by I'm constantly getting shocked by my light switch. And so I was like, yo, like, and he was like, well, it may just be you. He was like, because, and he even saw it in real time. He was like, well, you touched it, you got shot. I touched it, I didn't get shot. So he's like, it might be you. What? I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And so I'm gonna see if I can find my mic because I don't know if y'all can really truly hear me. And I need my mic. Oh, my back. I might get my headset too. I might have disconnect to my headset. I'm going to have to charge that though. But for now, we're going to cap this live off. I'm probably going to do another live. I might keep going. I'm going to keep going. But yeah, so it was like, I got all this shit to clean up. I got clothes every fucking where. Because I'm trying to move and get the fuck up out of here. Because I thought my landlord would at least give some grace. Because I've been freezing for the past month, y'all. Like, my boyfriend be like, babe, it's cold. My boyfriend is very hot nature. And he's like, babe, it's freezing in here. I said, yeah. That's what I be telling you. Like, but people be thinking I just be over exaggerating. No, bitch, I'm freezing. It's 50 degrees in this bitch. And it feel like fucking 40. So we're having to layer up and use our body heat. That's why I don't like when he not here because I be freezing at night. My boyfriend is big. And so I be freezing that fucking night. And so I just prefer for him to be here and for us to be able to use our body heat together because, baby, I be freezing when he not here. And I was like, yo, I'm not about to keep freezing. I'm paying $1,000 a month. This nigga is wanting full payment for the rent, and I ain't had no heat. Nigga, nah, I ain't paying all that shit. Fuck out here. I'm not paying all that shit. Absolutely not. Take me to court so I could tell him. Because the fuck. And this shit has been for the past 2 years, y'all, where I ain't had no proper heat. Then during the summer times, I don't have proper AC in my room, and my room is facing the sun. So my room heats the fuck up to 80, 90 degrees in my room. The rest of the house can be cool, but all the AC go out to the hallway and go to my roommate's room. But my room in particular heats up to damn near 80 degrees during the summertime. So you got summertime, I'm hot as hell. Except for when the sun sets. It's very odd. It's like the sun, it will be piercing hot for that whole day. And I'll be hoping, okay, some of this heat will stay in the room. But of course, I got to open and close the door, go in and out. So the heat doesn't stay in the room. Then wintertime, it's freaking freezing at nighttime. Like right now, my room is fine. Because it's cold outside. So my room is fine. But let it be a hot summer day or let it be a freezing cold day all day and the sun not be out, my room will be freezing all day. It'll be freezing all day. That's like, baby, I ain't about to sit here and freeze. My grandma said you can come back for free. Okay? I'm about to go right back in with my grandma. Fuck you talking about? I'm about to go right back home. My grandma was like, babe, and she been telling me for years. She was like, if you ever want to come here, you can always come here. And I'll be like, nah, because I like my freedom. I like having my company. I like for my boyfriend to be able to come over. And I know when I go there, that's not happening. Which is why I probably won't be staying there for that long. I'm probably gonna be there for probably 2 or 3 months stops, and then I'm leaving. Because at this point, it's like once stuff get popping or I find me a good form of income, that's it. I'm not about to keep doing this merry-go-round. And of course now, like right now, I'm dealing with a private landlord, and I've always dealt with private landlords. I've never dealt with like any like apartment complexes in my city, because apartment complexes just be ripping you off. Literally, they're started off one price and the price just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And it's like, damn, bitch. Like year over year, you looking at a $200 to $300 increase on your rent, and then you're gonna have to keep constantly moving. I don't have the type of money to just to keep moving. I can't do that. One thing I can say about my landlord is he did a good job of keeping the price the same for the past 3 years. And I get it. I could respect that. But what I can't respect is you not having proper heating or cooling in this apartment complex and you want me to pay the full amount. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Oh, fucking back. You ever see all them exercises that you be saving them and you never doing on Instagram? That's literally what I be doing. But yeah, hold on, let me see if I can. Can y'all even hear me? Y'all hear me? Who's this watching? Let me see if I can release the comments. It's just me. Anyways. Oh, I think I might have to go to the bathroom right quick. But I'm about to have all these clothes for sale. Or a lot of them for sale. I'm about to sell all these junks. People are like, oh, you should just donate to Goodwill. And why I would love to do that, and why I don't mind donating to the LA fires and all of that. This is brand new. This ain't going nowhere. This is mine. But while I wouldn't mind doing all of that, I need some money. And I ain't got no income coming in right now. The state is holding on to my unemployment like it's a newborn baby. And they're the mother. And I'm just like, look, let go of the baby. Let go of the baby. This is my baby. Okay? And they refusing to give me my money at this point. They approved it, but I still ain't seen nothing come in the mail. They still ain't giving me. So it's just like, this is why I tell people, when you work and do gig economy, it's so hard to get unemployment in North Carolina. And I've been doing gig work for probably like 5 years now, 4 or 5 years as a side hustle. And when nobody knew about it, it was so good. When nobody knew about any. But the more people found out, you start to realize, like, damn, everybody's having a job crisis in my city. Everybody. Yeah, we got motherfuckers coming from outside the city to come here to take up jobs. And so I had somebody tell me on Nextdoor, because I'll be on the Nextdoor app. Somebody gonna tell me, I find it hard to believe you have trouble finding a job with all those skills. I can't wait till people eat their own words. I love it. I love when people say stuff like that, because they end up eating their own words. You know who was also saying that? My mama and my sister. You know who was also saying that? People who had no idea. And you know what happened? They ended up unemployed, and they fucked around and found out. Like, damn, it is really hard out here to get a job. Yeah, your resume ain't just what's gonna cut it. These people want years and years of experience, and if you don't have years and years of experience, hell, I can say I'm willing to learn on the fly. I'm that type of person. You can teach me something once. I like repetitive tasks. Okay, so you can teach me something once, and I got it. Well, where I'm at, the job force is so freaking competitive, and you think with it being a new year, there would be like some type of relief, but it's not. It's really actually not. So a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, like why we still can't? It's like, bruh, this is the reality of what we're looking at. We have 1 million population in my city, and it's just like we literally like not, bruh. When I tell you, it's such a hassle to do everything in this bitch, y'all. It's a hassle to do everything. You can't get. First of all, we ain't got no fucking affordable housing, none. Okay, none. We got like, I think we're like number 70 something on the list of all the states who have affordable housing. Like our city in particular is like number 70 something. I think maybe we may have moved up to number 60 or something. I don't know. But I don't see how. We ain't got nothing. Like everything they build is luxury, and then month over month, there's supposed to be affordable housing. They're still increasing the rent like a regular apartment. So what happens is, what I notice is a lot of these companies come in, they start off having the property, and then the person who owns it, they get paid a ton of money, and they want to cash out their investment. So what do? They sell it to somebody else. Then there's a new management team that comes into play. Now people are like, people are comfortable with their management company, or sometimes, because some of these people be full of shit. But Most times they're comfortable and they're just like, oh, I want to make sure that I'm able to, you know, stay consistently because you're going into that place with a specific pay and a specific income. For most people in my city, that's not going to change for 3 to 5 years or 1 to 2 years at least. So if I come in paying 1,500, I don't care if it's 2055. I expect for it to stay 1,500. As soon as y'all change it, I'm moving. Especially at $400, $500. Hell no. And they do that to price people out. It is a form of redlining and it is a form of gentrification. So when a new management company comes in and they feel like it's too many black people and that doesn't meet the curb appeal, what they'll do is they price us out. So the people who are actually from my city can't even stay here because we get priced out. We get priced out all the time. And so now it's to the point where, like, honestly, y'all, nobody wants to be in the city. And all they're going to have is people who are coming from up north, who moved to down south. All the original people, I'm born and raised here. Everybody else, for the most part, is not. So when it comes down to it, you have your natives who are loyal, who are locals, who have been here for decades, who are like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then you got the people who come to replace them, and all this city seems to care about is money. And that's why everybody has left. And this is why we have no problem going like to Texas or these other places from North Carolina, because it's like, hell, y'all make us feel like we was never part of what made this fucking state. So why stay here? You got people moving from North Carolina to South Carolina because, like, hell, cost of living is cheaper. Everybody's on this I want to live off the land movement. So why stay here? Don't get me wrong, we got plenty of land, but hell, if we can't afford it and y'all not gonna make it affordable, or y'all not gonna use these grants the way that y'all supposed to, then why are we here? Why stay? And that's where I'm at. I'm like, hell, I'm going where the money at this point. I don't even care. Only reason why I left North Carolina at this point, honestly, is because of finance reasons. But if I find a job that's out of state, I'm gone. I gotta do what's best for me. I ain't got nobody kids. And I love my boyfriend, but hell, we might have to do long distance because, yeah, I ain't got nobody kids, and I need to move with the money on that. And it is what it is. And there's nothing here in North Carolina. I'm just saying, not for me at least. If anybody else want to stay here, they're welcome to stay. But for me and mine, me, I got to go. This is why I left and moved to Ohio in the first place, because the money was in Ohio. That's where the money was at. And at the time, it was in Columbus. But once again, that's only a temporary situation because you find yourself having to move again because either a lease is up. Well, that time I had to move because my lease was up. But you find yourself having to move again or whatever, and it's ridiculous. This constant cycle of greed, essentially, in the U.S. is ridiculous. Because, like we're saying, the poor getting poorer and the rich getting richer. And once you crack the code, and you know too much, then it kill you off. So there's that. So right now, for the most part, I have gotten these clothes picked up off the floor. For the most part, I've gotten these clothes picked up off the floor. And that was my primary goal, is to get all this stacked up properly and get this all into a proper box. I know the box clothes are going to the storage because my grandma don't have that much space. So I just got to be careful with what I'm bringing and make sure it's all stuff that I actually need. Like my towels, my washcloths. She don't have that many of those. I mean, she got enough for her. And she got enough, but she needs new sets. And yeah, my stuff has lasted for years, but my stuff is more thick and more durable. And so I'm bringing my own towels and washcloths. Pots and pans, Granny don't cook. So I gotta bring my own pots and pans and then my clothes. And that's really it. All my art supplies, for the most part, outside of one box, all of that is going going away. All of that will be going to um wherever it goes to the storage. Um, yep. Something like that. I don't give a fuck. I just want to get the fuck up out of here. That's the point that I'm at. Get the hell up out of here. I just have to see how I'm gonna format this room because this room is so small, y'all. It's so freaking small. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to have my table in the room. I'm gonna see, but I might not even be able to have my table in the room because the room is so small. I know the sacrifice is gonna be sleep on the bed. It's gonna be sleep on the bed or um yeah, sleep in my actual bed frame or get rid of the bed frame. I'm gonna opt to get rid of the bed frame because it's gonna take up too much room. My little sister already has the bigger room anyway. And so this is not permanent though. This is just like I said, 2 to 3 months. Ain't gonna be bad. I'll be able to save up my money. If and when I finally do get my unemployment, I should be straight. And then I can just save up that money and also find a job in the meantime. Another one that would fit me better, but I'm at that point where I want a career job that's gonna, last me a long time and not be something that's just, high turnovers and stuff like that. Because I'm done with the high turnover jobs. It's so aggravating with these high turnover jobs. Because what happens is you're thinking you're gonna be there for longevity. They're gonna value you as an employee like they used to do back in the day. But now all the state wants to do is contract people out. They want you to come in under a contractor. And then once the contractor runs out of fucking money because they get greedy and want to get more money for you than they're supposed to get, then they fucking lay you off. So I no longer want to be in contracted situations. I want to be direct hire. I can't be direct hire. I really don't want to work for the company. Because what happens is they give these bullshit benefits, if they give any at all. Most times they're not even giving no benefits. That's what I noticed. Like a lot of times these contracting companies are not giving out no benefits. And they want you to work there with no fucking health insurance while paying you fucking $20 an hour. I'm sorry, $20 an hour has never paid for my fucking insurance ever. $20 an hour. Hell, I was making that when I was a contractor when I first moved in here. And we see what happened with that. They gave it, then they snatched it away. So you practically scrambling and living like you making really $15 an hour. You're scrambling and living like you're making $15 an hour or $13 an hour at the same rate of 20. And that should tell y'all how bad the expenses are here. That should give y'all a gist. Like it's really bad here. It's not like a lot of people make it seem like it's a breeze. Yeah, for the people who have employment already, they're not worried about nothing. I've been with my place for such and such years and da 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 da. Yeah, because you have longevity in the company. A lot of us we're struggling to even get to that point. And so when people be like, "Oh, y'all don't need this. Y'all don't need government aid. Y'all don't need this. Y'all need to do it on your own." Da 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 da. Majority of white people are on welfare. Let's make that very clear. And that's on top of the white privilege that they have. So you got white privilege and you on welfare. And so y'all are enjoying the fruits of the system. Meanwhile, my people sitting here like, hey, could we get in? And then the ones who do get in don't really need to be in. It'd be crazy. It's like, yo, what the fuck? That's a cute outfit. But the ones who don't need to be in, like, are in. This is too small though. I think I'm gonna get this to my friend. She can have it. It was real cute, but I can't rock it because I'm just too big for this outfit. And really, it's the neck portion. My neck is too big for this. And the neck portion is what keeps it up. So I think I'm gonna get this to my friend. I haven't worn it that much. I probably worn it like twice. She can have it. She does a lot of cosplay. Whew, I think we're making some progress. This is why I wanted to go live doing this because I knew if I'm live and I'm just talking, I'll ultimately end up continuing to do this like at a steady rate so I can actually make some progress because y'all for the past 2 days I ain't been doing shit at all. I ain't been doing nothing. I literally been trying to work on my ebook to make sure my ebook can be released so I can bring in some extra income. And then I was working on a planner, which planners are so hard to make. I didn't know planners were this hard to make. This is my jacket. I didn't know planners were this hard to make, but they are. I gotta go to the bathroom though, so I think I'm gonna pause this live, or I might end it and then I might start another one when I come back. And